All right, everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. So today I went over to my parents' house to troubleshoot some lighting issues in the attic that they were having. So I was trying to fix that for them. So as you can see, the power on the right side and the switch leg on the left side. So originally I thought the switch was working because, like I said, the switch was holding the power on the right, and then when I hit the switch, it would send the power through the switch leg, so I assumed that it was fine. Later I figured out that it wasn't. So I went ahead and started taking apart this plug right here, and I did speed that up to save you guys some time on the playback. Unfortunately, I can't speed it up any faster, so you just have to wait at 2x speed. So I went ahead and started taking the plug apart, and I wanted to make sure that the plug was working. So I went ahead and hit the switch because it's a switched plug. So when you hit the switch going up into the attic, it turns on this plug. And then I went ahead, okay, the plug was working. And then as soon as I plug in the light, it dies. And okay, I was assuming that the light was bad or something was shorted in the light. That wasn't the case, so I was really confused because I haven't really ever dealt with this situation before where you plug something in and then it kills the circuit. It wasn't even tripping the breaker, it just stopped working, so I would have to reset the breaker just to get it to light up the plug again or make the power come back on. So it was really weird. So it was a whole new situation that I haven't dealt with before. So once I reset the breaker a few times, I went ahead and grabbed my electrical meter and wanted to check out the voltage, and everything was fine with 120 volts between the hot and the ground and between the hot and the neutral. So I said, okay, well, it's not going to be anything with the wiring or the voltage. So I went ahead and was checking. I wanted to disconnect the second plug, which is a couple feet behind me. I wanted to make sure the second plug wasn't tripping something in this plug, so I was disconnecting the wire off of the second plug just to make sure that the first plug wasn't being affected by that. So I got it right the first time, and then I did it the second time because when I hit the switch, it wasn't turning back on. So I had it right the first time. I don't know why it was wrong or something, but anyways, then I switched it to the second set of wires. Then I set it to the second set of wires, which did nothing, and then I had to change it back a third time on the switch leg. So the easiest way I could have avoided that was just to take the wires off of the plug, or take one set of wires out the plug and then turned on the switch and then checked which one had the power. But obviously I followed it right the first time. I don't know how I got it wrong this second time. I thought I got it wrong at least, and then I switched it, and then I had to switch it back to the right way the first time. So it took me like 3 tries. But then as soon as I switched it back to the right one, the same exact thing happened. I turned the power back on, and then as soon as I plugged the light in, it would kill the power again for some reason. So eventually I gave up on the plug, and then I switched it to a brand new plug, and it was still doing the same exact thing. So I knew it wasn't the plug, I knew it wasn't the wire, and I knew it wasn't the voltage. So I went back to the switch here in a second. I obviously am going way too fast. Obviously going way too fast for this video to keep up. So here is me turning the power back on and then plugging the light back in on the new plug. And then it still wasn't working. As you can see, it just killed the power. So I reset the power again, and then from here, you'll have to give me a second because I don't remember what I did. So this was, I guess this was the time that I changed the plug. I was still messing with it earlier, trying to get it right. So this is when I put on the new plug, and this is exactly when I reset the power and then plugged the light back in, and it still wasn't working. So this is the time that I knew that it wasn't the plug's fault, the wiring's fault. the voltage or anything like that. If this video could go any faster, I would have done it for you guys, but I didn't want to export it and then re-import it and then find the right clips and then fast forward it. So apologize, you have to wait here a few extra minutes. So anyways, here's resetting the power. Here's plugging the light back into the new plug, and it killed it. So I knew it was either the light or the switch, or something down the line, because this is near the end of the line of the house, because the first circuit on the garage is the air compressor, and then it hits another plug in the garage, and then it brings power up into the attic. So originally I got this to work by bypassing the switch, just taking the switch off, wire nutting it, turning the power back on, and then it worked. So I knew it was a bad switch, or at least I thought it was. So I took a 3-way switch and turned it into a single pole switch, just because we didn't have any extra single poles laying around at my parents' house. So put a new switch on it, and then everything was working just fine. And then I just went ahead and put the switch back in the wall, screwed the switch back into the box, and then put the cover back on, and then throw a piece of tape around this plug just in case, and then screwed it back into the box and put the cover on, and then plugged the light back in, and then that was the end of it. So really weird situation that I've never had to deal with, but in the end I got it figured out. If you just mess around with it for long enough and you sort of know what you're doing, you'll eventually get it. So just had to do like a process of elimination. After this, I was going to, if this didn't work, I was going to try to pigtail a ground wire, because I noticed there wasn't a ground wire on the switch, and I was wondering if that was messing with something up on it, but I guess it wasn't. If that wasn't the case, then I would have had to hop around to the other plugs in the garage and try to see if any wires were loose. And then from there I moved on to just switching out that old plug that was in the attic. I replaced this plug in the garage because my dad said it was too tight to plug in. And the plug that was in there was a 20 amp, so I was wondering if this was going to hold on the 15 amp plug, and I wasn't sure if it was a dual 15 amp and 20 amp. So went ahead and plugged in the air compressor, ran a cycle on it, filled up the air, and it didn't trip. So that was the end of that. And that was pretty much all the electrical work. And then I noticed this tool sitting in my dad's garage, and this is one of the tools on my union tool list that I didn't have, so he gave it to me, so I'm thankful for that. It's basically a punch down tool, makes a little divot on a metal surface, and it basically holds your drill bit in place so it doesn't start moving around when you are drilling a hole. And that's it. Alright guys, that's today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. I have some good videos coming up for you tomorrow and the next day. I already have one video completely done, waiting to just click one button and publish it. So I'm going to wait to upload that one for the next day or two. And then I have another video planned for tomorrow. So hopefully you guys stick around and stay tuned for that. Good stuff coming. You guys will be excited to hear the news. Can't wait to share it with you guys. Some of you already know. But anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. As always, if you like the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Love to see you guys back in the next video, and it would help the channel out. And there's one other thing I was going to say, I forgot. And then lastly, check the description and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload or do live streams. Thanks guys so much. God bless. Have an awesome rest of your day. Hopefully this video helped you out with some of the ins and outs of troubleshooting. If you are wondering how to troubleshoot some things, hopefully this helped you out in some sort of way. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing. But that is it. God bless. Have an awesome rest of your day. Peace out.